Hey guys, it's David, and today I'm going to be making my spaghetti. Now, I know what you're saying. Spaghetti is really easy, right? You just boil some pasta, put some ground beef up in it, and then use some like ragu or some jarred pasta sauce. But no, we're not doing that today, alright? That's fine. We're gonna upgrade. So I'm gonna show you how to do a pasta sauce. It's not that hard, but it's a little bit better than just your average lazy day spaghetti, right? Now, disclaimer. If you're Italian or you have an Italian mother or grandmother, it's not going to be like their sauce, all right? So I don't want to hear it in the comments. If you don't like it this way, that's fine. This isn't for you. But for those of you who want to take that lazy spaghetti and upgrade it just a little bit, we're going to do something really tasty. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take some olive oil and put it into my Dutch oven here, which I bought recently and I love using. It's my favorite thing ever. I like using a Dutch oven because it keeps everything nice and hot and heats evenly. It's good for soups, it's good for frying, it's good for putting stuff in the oven. You can use it for anything, so get yourself a Dutch oven or a cast iron pot, all right? I also have about 3 pounds or 1.5 kilograms of ground meat. This is ground beef, and I've also got 0.5 kilogram of a ground beef, ground pork mix. So I'm going to use all of this. This is a lot of meat, but I'm making a lot of sauce. This is something that freezes really well, so you can make it all in one batch and then put it in your freezer. You have sauce for later. Okay, now, I probably should have used a bigger pot, but it's okay. I'm all about improvising and using what I have, so we're just going to go with what I have available to me. Use what's available to you. I've got this on high heat. We want to get this nice and brown. In the meantime, I've also got some onions and some green peppers that I chopped up. These are Italian peppers. You can use bell pepper if you want. I just couldn't find them, so this is what I got. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw them in, okay? Your meat is going to season your vegetables, and your vegetables are going to season your meat. Give it a nice, good flavor. Okay? And I'm just going to let it all cook together. Now, as I always say, you want to season your food. So here I've got some Lawry's seasoning salt. We're going to toss some of that in there. And you just season till your heart's content. Okay? I want to get the seasoning in and I want it to cook with the meat. In addition to the Lawry's, I'm going to throw in a little bit of garlic powder. Okay, and you just season till you think it's enough. In addition to the garlic powder, throw in some onion powder, and I know what you're thinking. I've already got onion in there. Why am I using onion powder? Because this is my food and I can. So you season how you want to because you're the boss in your kitchen. But season your food, please. I'm also going to use some black pepper. Mine is already ground because I'm lazy. If you want to grind your own, do that. But I'm not going to. And just a little bit of thyme. This one. Okay. Now I'm going to stir it all up and just let it cook together. And I'm just going to let this meat keep going until it's all cooked. It might take less, well, it's going to take less time if you have less meat or a bigger pot. Lid on it to help it. It is almost done. I'm going to go ahead and throw in some garlic. This is about 4 cloves of garlic, and you want to use as much garlic as you like. If you don't like that much, use 1 or 2 cloves. If you like a lot of garlic, use a whole head. Your breath is gonna smell bad, but do what you want to do. I can't tell you what to do. So I'm just gonna throw all of this in there. You don't want to throw the garlic in too soon because you don't want the garlic to burn, okay? So we just want to mix it all around, and we're gonna let that cook. Let it cook together for another minute or so, maybe 2 minutes because it's got a lot of meat in there. And I'm not draining the meat. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and throw in this can of tomato paste. Okay. You just need 1 can. I want to get all of this tomato paste out of that can. Okay. We're going to mix it up. And then after we get the tomato paste in the can, I'm going to take a can, a very large can, of crushed tomatoes. Now, if you want to use those whole tomatoes and crush them yourself and get a little bit more body in it, that's on you. I'm lazy, okay? I just want everyone to know I'm lazy. I don't have time or the patience. So, it's already crushed. I'm just going to use this. It's okay to be lazy in the kitchen. It's fine. Now, at this point, you can determine whether or not this is enough sauce, whether you want it to be a little bit meatier or a little bit saucier. And I think I want just a little bit more. So here's what I'm gonna do. I've got a jar of tomato sauce. I wanted to make sure this was a jar, not a can. I'm gonna use some of this, not all, just to where I like it, where I think it's good enough. So just a tiny bit, you know? This is all personal preference, it's all personal taste. And they have tomato sauces that have less sugar in them or no added sugar, just in case you want to control how much sugar is going into your sauce. Okay, so right now it's starting to look good. I think I'm going to pour just a little bit more sauce in. Alright. Alright, now we've added tomato paste and crushed tomato, and that's very acidic. We want to cut into the acidity and the bitterness by just adding a little bit of sugar. You don't want to add much, maybe just a teaspoon or half a tablespoon or whatever this is to, start. Not too much. I think I'm going to add that much. Alright. Let's just stir it in. Mix, 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 mix. And you want to make sure you give it a taste, just to make sure it's not too acidic. Okay, that's good. So we're just gonna keep stirring. Now, one tip that I picked up from a YouTuber, Lexi Television, aka Lexi Allen, is to add in some butter, because this is gonna make it nice and creamy and just have a great consistency. So shout out to Lexi, go check out her channel. She added about a stick's worth of butter, and that's what I'm gonna do as well. So for those of you who are at home worried about cholesterol or something, maybe don't do this. But once again, I'm making a lot of sauce. This is not for one person. So we're just gonna take the butter. You ready? You're just gonna take. You ready? Ready? Just throw it in there like that. Made a little bit of a mess, but that's fine. We're gonna clean it up. We're gonna clean everything up. Spaghetti sauce is a messy process, but gotta make sure everything tastes right, and we will clean up the kitchen afterwards. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, this is not my kitchen. We're in a new filming location today. Shout out to Daniela.
It's my house.
It's her house. We're messing up someone else's kitchen for once. Alright, so just let that butter melt. Let it get mixed in with all of that tomato and all of those seasonings and all those spices, and I promise you this is going to taste good. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some herbs. These are the herbs de Provence. I said that all kinds of wrong, but it doesn't matter. It tastes good. We're going to throw that in there along with some basil. This does have basil in it, just not quite enough. Alright? So give it a stir, make sure it's not boiling too much. Shake, 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 shake. And then your basil, we're going to shake some of that in there. If you have a bay leaf, you might want to throw it in there. I don't, so we're not going to. And stir, and stir, and stir. I'm gonna add in some more black pepper. And if you want some kick in this, you could add some cayenne or maybe some red pepper flakes if you want to. I don't have those either, and sometimes the people you cook for don't like spicy food. I don't think Daniela likes spicy food that much.
I like it a little bit.
She likes it a little bit, okay. I've also got some oregano. I think oregano is pretty strong, so I'm not going to add too much, just a little bit of it. Okay. So once you've got all of this in the pot, I'm going to give it one final taste for now. Yeah, I like the way it's tasting. And we're going to turn this down. Turn it down. We're going to cover it. And you want to let this simmer for at least an hour. It can be longer, but we're going to try for an hour today because we're hungry. So we'll come back in an hour. So I've got my spaghetti all boiled. It's al dente. So I'm going to go ahead and season it up. The first thing I'm going to do is take just a little bit of butter, not too much, just a little bit, and just throw it in there. It's nice and hot, so I'm just going to take this and just use 2 forks and toss it around until it's good and melted. Trust me, this butter is going to do wonders on the flavor of the spaghetti. Okay, and I'm just going to keep doing this until it's all melted. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is use some of the seasoning that I bought. This is seasoning especially for spaghetti. It contains basil, oregano, salt, dehydrated tomato, garlic, onion, and black pepper. I'm still going to use some additional black pepper and maybe some thyme as well, just because that's what I like. We're seasoning to our own personal tastes. So we're just going to take this and just shake it up in there. Take some of the thyme, throw that in there as well. You might want to add some additional salt. This probably doesn't have enough. And some of the black pepper. Alright, and let's just take it and continue to toss it with the 2 forks. And season until you think it's ready. Alright, so I've got the spaghetti and meat sauce all plated up, and Daniela's going to give it the first try. So Daniela, here you go.
Okay.
There's your spoon and fork.
Dive right in. Mmm, it smells amazing. Dude. Really, really good. I can use all the spices, all the meatiness, which I love. Fantastic, David.
All right, cool.
Bravo.
So, like I said, this sauce freezes really well, so if you want to be lazy one day, you can just pull this out of the freezer, thaw it out, put on some spaghetti, and you're good to go. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you give it a try. And that's all I have for you. I'll see you next time. Peace.